Hello traders and welcome to the weekly outlook and setups volume 73. It's Iliya here, and as always I'm super glad to have you on my YouTube channel. As you know, in this video we're gonna have a look at the market, how it developed this week, what opportunities did we have, and what can we potentially expect for the upcoming week. So I took a break this week. I didn't take any trades, but I'm gonna show you all the setups that were developed and the trades that were taken by the team because they were pretty active. But I'm having an examination period right now, and I'm focusing more on studies and just taking a step back from trading because of all the stuff that is happening as well. We're having a pre-election week, so the market was pretty strange, but we had some massive movements on some of the pairs, which I'm going to show you in this video. Sorry for not posting educational content and some other videos, but I'm working pretty hard on other things right now, and I promise I will be back with more value, more videos and everything. So make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell in order not to miss when I start posting those videos. And if you already did, let's see what do we have for the market and what we can potentially expect for the upcoming week. Although we are having the elections on Tuesday, so potentially Monday is gonna be either choppy or manipulation, and Tuesday is gonna be huge. We're gonna have some huge spikes up, down. Nobody knows what's gonna happen, so I would really advise you to keep your risk low. Don't trade too much, wait for Tuesday to pass, then Wednesday potentially is gonna be like a correction day or continuation probably with the volume that was introduced, and then Thursday and Friday we can try to grab some trades, but I think the next week actually is gonna be tradable. So let's have a look right now. Alright, as always, starting with the DXY to have a look what the dollar did this week and what can potentially happen for the upcoming week. I don't want to give any biases or any advice because nobody knows what's gonna happen. But as you can see, guys, right here we have a nice bullish engulfing candle this week, previously having a bearish engulfing candle, right? So we actually expected short sellers, but the market just opened and reversed to the upside, leaving us with this potential sign that the market might create a higher low and then we might start pumping into the upside, right? So is this gonna happen? We don't know. Dropping down to the daily time frame, this trend line is not valid, right? Because this is not how you draw trend lines, just to look good. What did we have? The market opened on Monday, straight bullish engulfing candle, then we grabbed liquidity all the way down, reversed all the way up, then the market opened again the next day, huge push again, then we stopped out right here. There were some stop losses around this area, which I'm gonna show you. The market tapped that area and then just started to consolidate. All right, then what I expect right here to happen is this area to get tapped, which we came pretty close to. 94,200 can be a potential target area for short-term buyers. And as you can see, just having a look a little bit on the left, you have this beautiful double top formation right here that the market just spiked above, retraced, and then again tried to spike, but there are a lot of sellers sitting right here, so the market is fading to continue higher. But this could be a level that I will be monitoring, and currently we're sitting at 94 as well. So as you can see, the market open right here, push, we have that pullback right here to grab the liquidity, then another push, pullback. We had an opportunity on EU after this pullback. Continuation, pullback, try to continuation, but failing. So right now, my major structure is sitting right here. Have a look how the EMA was respected to the pip. The market grabbing that liquidity and then starting to push up. So guys, again, I don't want to drop any suggestions or something. I will just be monitoring on Monday and on Tuesday to see what's gonna happen, and then potentially Wednesday and Thursday will be trading days. But right now, just looking at this major area right here, because this is a nice area of supply and demand, and this structural area, if it potentially breaks below, comes back for a retest, then we might have a continuation, or the market is gonna provide us with a bigger pullback on the daily. Maybe it's gonna go lower a little bit because we have a strong push to the upside, then we can expect a little bit of a correction. So definitely let's see, but those are the levels that I'm gonna be working with, this most recent higher low and this supportive level or resistance, whatever it is, that the market might tap into and then reverse. So let's definitely wait a little bit and see what's gonna happen, and always go with the flow. As you can see, Euro USD, the same situation right here. We had this beautiful bullish engulfing candle and we thought that the market is gonna continue to the upside, but it did exactly the opposite. The market just opened and flushed to the downside, engulfing the previous 3 weekly candles. So this is pretty major, and that definitely shows us that the sellers are kicking in. But is this just manipulation to the downside to grab orders in order to move the market up? We never know. All right, so the market opened right here, as you can see, straight with the bearish engulfing candle, little bit of a pullback as we had on the DXY, flush to the downside. I believe this is when we had the short opportunity right here, and then another flush to the downside, and even Friday ended up bearish, right? So as for areas of support and resistance, we have this right here that the market started to move to the upside. So this is potentially a pretty nice area of support and resistance, but the market is actually starting to break below it right now. So definitely I would love to see how the market is going to react around these areas right here. Then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame to show you where the setup was. It was right here. After the market showed us that it's gonna go down, and as you can see on the open, we pushed down, then the market consolidated right here, but the sign that it was gonna flush down is that it did not create a higher high. All right, so we have this, we have a pullback, we have a push, then the market pulls back, it should start pushing up, but then you see rejections. So you could have potentially speculated right here on a short, but it wasn't that clear by the time when I was looking live at the market. But then we had that nice push, we have that nice pullback right here, 1, 2, 3, 4 full hourly candles of rejection, so you have plenty of time to enter, and then dropping to the 50-minute time frame. Right here, a little bit of a consolidation, but if you look closely, we have this structure that was broken with this candle, retest at the EMA, stop loss safely above this high, and then we start pumping to the downside. So this trade was taken, but again, our take profits were down there where the market started to wick, and then we had another move to the downside, which was pretty nice. And actually, the next day, why am I clicking right here? The next day, we had another pullback right here with a little bit of a spike to the upside, which happened, I believe, during New York. So as you can see, the market strongly pushes into the highs to stop out the people that were already short, and then the market continued lower. All right, so this is your USD summed up, one beautiful opportunity right here. And this one was a little bit, it's Friday. We usually don't trade on Fridays. So again, what structure am I working with? Well, I have this major lower high right here that was created, and I have this major daily or full hourly resistance or support level right here. I always mess up support and resistance because it's kind of the same to me. So definitely similar to the DXY, waiting to see where the market is gonna react and what's it gonna do. Again, we don't know what's gonna happen on Tuesday, so definitely my analysis right now is a little bit futile, but let's just make it. Let's have our expectations, and again, as I always say, guys, make sure to go with the flow, and whatever the structure does, whatever structure is broken, whatever trend is introduced. For example, if you were looking for longs right here, but then the market showed you this push to the downside and this pullback, there is no reason to be looking for longs anymore. All right, this is what I mean by follow the flow. All right, so that's your USD having a short bias, but again, we never know what's gonna happen. EUR/JPY weekly time frame, another very bearish week, as you can see, engulfing all the previous weekly candles right here and actually closing below this monthly low. This is from September. Yep, so very strong candle. Where I will be looking for support is around these areas right here, 121 to 120, around 800s. So this is a pretty strong area, and you're gonna see on the daily as well, this is where the market was accumulating, then tested, and then started to strongly push to the upside. So this is a potential area that if the market taps, we might have a little bit of a reaction. All right, I can even stretch it a little bit like this, right? So this looks good. What did we have right here, guys? 5 days. The market opens bearish, little bit of a pullback that we could potentially capitalize on, but the market did not provide an entry, which is pretty bad. And then the market continues to go to the downside, creating a lower low. So I really expect that the market is gonna start with a little bit of a pullback. Where to? Maybe to retest this broken structure, maybe to retest the higher structures right here, but we should have a little bit of a pullback, or the market will straight flush, but I don't think it will just open and flush for 80 pips into this area. But again, anything can happen. Dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, you can see we had the similar situation as with EU, but it was a little bit tricky, and this one already turned short because you can see right here we have that little minor structure, strong move to the downside, pullback, lower low. Then this kind of could have been a reversal sign, but then the market started to consolidate. So not sure if you could have gotten a short right here. Huge move to the downside, pullback. There was the opportunity. Hourly time frame, rejections right here, beautiful, but then dropping to the 50-minute time frame, our entry criteria was pretty hard to be seen right here. So definitely something like this, break, retest at the EMA as well. I think we actually had a member taking this short. Yeah, I think it was Omar as well. Yeah, so stop loss above the structure, break, retest right here. This could have been a potential trade that we would take. And then again, measuring our take profit areas, which is right here, for a nice 4 R&R trade. Then the market made another move down to fulfill actually the second target as well, which could have turned into a pretty nice trade. So this is the only opportunity on EUR/JPY that we could have capitalized on. Then we had another pullback, which was actually right here, but it was not that good. And if I drop to the 15-minute again, you can see that the market was rather choppy right here, choppy, and then on the break actually didn't provide any retest right here. So again, only one trade on EUR/JPY, but which is more than enough. If you can catch one trade like this per week, then I'm done, right? So right now I can see that there is some support coming from the downside right here, this bullish engulfing candle and a strong bearish engulfing candle, potentially finding resistance from these areas right here. So this is not yet a major lower high because it hasn't made a lower low. So the area that I will be focused on is this one right here. So the market can pull back again, consolidate around this area, but I will still remain short bias. But any change in bias will be if the market strongly breaks above, pulls back, and starts to form support level right here. All right, wicks, then I can potentially expect the longs because this will turn as well into a left shoulder, head, and a right shoulder. All right, and as I expect a daily pullback to the upside, then there is a very high chance that this is gonna pull back. All right, so let's have a look. EUR/JPY working with those areas. I can even drop a little line right here just to remind me that this is a support and resistance level. But again, just waiting for Monday to pass and then striking the market later in the week. Euro/Aussie weekly time frame, nothing too much on this one. As you can see, we're having just an indecision candle. There were some opportunities, I believe. So as you can see, we had that nice push into the highs, then we started to have that nice pullback into the lows, and the market threw this nice wick down, and then it created a strong bullish engulfing candle, but then it failed to continue. And actually, we had 2 bearish days. I was looking for longs actually right there, but yeah, what was tricky on this one is, as you can see, we had this very strong supportive level, and what the market does, it just goes down, and where it goes below those areas for a perfect stop hunt. And then as you can see how the market reacts from this one, like a massive reaction to the upside. And then I was looking for that pullback, wick. So after this wick, I believe I tried, but this was Friday, I was just monitoring the market. After this wick, then you can potentially start looking for longs, but then the market pushed and then never provided an entry and just broke structure and started to consolidate. So again, Euro/Aussie, nothing too much this week. What I will be looking for, well, potentially I would love to see a reaction around these areas right here. So for example, this is your low, then this is your high. So this is your range where the market is trading into, and you can find areas to trade in between that range. All right, but the market right now is not creating clear structure. We just have a push and a pullback. So still, this can be a higher low formation, but definitely in order to go long, I need to see something more. And this is not what I want to see. It's just choppiness, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So definitely if I have a nice impulse to the upside with a nice correction, then I can definitely start looking for longs. And the most safest option is to wait for an actual break above, perfect retest, and then we continue higher. All right, so I'm having a bullish bias on Euro/Aussie, but right now it's not ready. I'm gonna have a look back on Tuesday to have a look if we have any clear price action, but for now, just stepping aside and working with those major key areas. Let's have a look at the Aussies. Beautiful short opportunities right here. As you can see, we have this strong, not that strong, but we have this nice bearish engulfing candle on the weekly time frame, then dropping quickly on the daily, while we can see the last 5 days. So the market opened with a pretty consolidative behavior. So we have 1 day, 2 days of consolidation. Even from the previous week, we had a consolidation. Then the market spiked into the highs. I actually expected the spike a little bit higher with a full hourly demand area, and then the market flushed to the downside, and now our opportunity, I believe, was actually on this pullback and this continuation. It was on the 29th, so let's see if I'm correct. So the trade that was taken was from right here, and as you can see, this whole consolidation. So I had an area like this right here, or yeah, this was exactly like this indecision candle after the push. So I expected the market to plunge into that area to tap around like 71 800s or 700 at least, but then the market just created that wick, didn't even break the high of that wick, and then it just flushed. Nothing to do. What we do is we just follow the flow. Huge push, 1, 2, 3 rejection candles, bearish engulf, and a 50%, and this actually happened on the hourly time frame as well. Have a look. So we have the market nicely climbing into the high, nice bullish candle right here with a wick, second bearish candle, sorry, this is bullish, this is bearish candle with a wick on top, which is beautiful, and it was a bearish engulf actually closing below the low of this candle. And then what do we have on the next one? A 50% retracement, and then the market just started to plummet. The entry was a little bit tricky because it was just a wick. So if this is your structure level right here, then you have the break and then you have this candle. So this candle created that 50% wick, and then we are short right here, stop loss safely above the structure, and then the targets were down for a lower low, nailing a pretty nice around 1 to 3, and then the market just started to consolidate. So this was a trade that was taken, I'm sure about this one, so it was pretty nice, and actually regretted not trading, but it is what it is. So yeah, what we can potentially expect on this one is a little bit tricky right now. Why? Because it came back to create an equal lower high. And when I see this, I always start to have second thoughts on it, because I always expect a head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, and a potential right shoulder. Again, I'm gonna mark my major support as well, and if this one breaks, then it can potentially continue to go lower. Then dropping to the hourly time frame just to have a look, you can see that the behavior is overall consolidative. We don't have a strong push and a pullback, but we have a consolidation. So when I see this, what I do is I just step aside from the market and focus on another pair. All right, so as for expectations to the downside, we definitely have to go on the left, but this is too much on the left and it's not much relevant. So again, I just zoom in and I focus on the most recent price action and just working with those two key levels. And I'm just gonna cover quickly AJ as well on one breath. As you can see, a nice bearish candle right here as well. The kind of the same opportunity, but this one looked a little bit better on the daily. Have a look, nice push to the downside, breaking major structure on the left and coming for like not a perfect retest, but if I grab the wicks, then it's a perfect retest, but it's an area. And have a look at the level 7500. So it's not exactly that area, but you know that we don't have levels, we have zones, right? Then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, similar situation right here, consolidation. Then the market provided us with a little push to the downside right here, and then on that pullback, not sure if trades were taken right here, but then absolutely 100% sure that trades were taken from right here. Dropping to the hourly time frame, you can see that we had some introduction, pullback, push, and another stop hunt. I believe we had a stop loss on Aussie NZD for some of my members. Yes, this is not a trade because the market just pushed up, then reversed, and then an entry right here, but the market already went too much to the downside, so we usually don't get in here. But then again, right here, similar situation, the market creating a triple top, starting to break below, and then right here around those wicks, either this week or this week, we can be catching a trade, and then the market creating a perfect lower low, fulfilling our target to the pip right here. The second target was missed by a few pips, but we usually secure at the first target. Or again, another tip, you can take an average between the two and target 50%. And as you can see, the 50% was perfectly tapped. So this is the opportunity on AJ as well, and similar situation to AU. What is the market doing right now when you just see it? Well, it's consolidating and it's not pretty clear. All right, so we drop our levels right here, support and resistance, checking the behavior in the hourly time frame. Definitely a consolidation. So what do? We wait for the market to break and retest both of those areas. It's as simple as that, guys, believe me. All right, so that's the Aussies. Let's have a look if the NZDs provided us with something this week. Starting from NZD/USD weekly time frame, what do we have right here? Well, we have a bearish candle, not really an engulfing candle, and as you can see, the market has been consolidating in that area for a pretty long period of time. And what I can see is that there is a very major supportive level right here. Tap, then tries to reach, but again, the price action is being repelled from that area. So definitely there is something sitting right here. Then dropping to the daily time frame, you can see we have a kind of a consolidation within a consolidation. We have even a big head and shoulders, and within that big head and shoulders we have double tops and channels. Like this pair is a little bit tricky, but again, this is not how I trade. But having a look at the most recent price action, so the market started right here with a little bit of a slowdown, bullish engulfing candle to stop hunt a little bit, and then we started to flush to the downside. And I believe we had the same opportunity right here as on the Aussies, but the Aussies were a little bit clearer, right? Yeah, as you can see, the market spiked into the highs, then we started to reverse, then the market created this supportive level. But it wasn't just a push and a pull back, but first we created the level, we made a lower low, and then the market just started to wick again at that area. But then dropping to the hourly time frame, what do we have again when the market returned? Rejection, bearish candle right here, and then dropping to the 15-minute time frame, I believe. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this was an entry actually, because you have this structure. I'm not gonna take it like this from this huge wick, but like an overall, like, yeah, let's take this wick right here, this one. Then the market breaks, retests back, You can enter either a DMA or right here at the structure. Let's say we enter right here. Stop loss always goes above, as safe as possible. So let's do it like 12 pips. And then again, you can nail a pretty nice, let's see, yeah, 2.5 R&R. And if you hold it to target 2 as well, you can nail a nice 3.43, and then almost to an equal swing point, which is a 4.44. Actually, that went to the pip. All right, so I love this take profit measurement too, and as you can see, this was a beautiful trade which I did not take again. Oh man. Right, so dropping again to the 4-hourly time frame to see what can potentially happen on this one. I really don't like this spike because this was a clear manipulation that went exactly right here where all the people had their stop losses on that short. Hopefully we took our take profits and the market manipulated again for the people that planned to hold, and then the market reversed again. So pretty funny how the market works. Then we have this double bottom right now that it can potentially form, and I have a potential very strong supportive level that can be right here, which is not really a major area but can potentially be tapped. All right, so this is my expectation on NZUSD. I'm looking for shorts, but right now after the strong push, then I can expect a little bit of a pullback, and the market is overall in this consolidation, support, resistance, hasn't broken on a few attempts. So let's see how this one is going to develop. But again, guys, I don't want to give any biases because actually everything will change on Tuesday. Again, similar situation on NZDJPY. You can see that weekly consolidation. So when this one exits the consolidation, there will be some huge movements. So definitely we have to look a little bit deeper on the higher time frames, what the market is actually doing. Daily time frame, again, consolidation even on the daily consolidations within the weekly consolidation. So this is pretty interesting. Then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame to have a look, what did we have? Similar opportunity right here, guys. The market open right here, consolidation, huge move to the downside. Then it starts to pull back, and then again on the hourly time frame, you have the same bearish engulfing candle, retest, another pretty nice and easy short opportunity. Yeah, not sure if you get it on that wick. You can potentially get on that pullback, which was in perfect confluence with the EMA, and then you again go down to take profit, and afterwards nothing else happens, nothing else matters, right? Then again we have this strong like supportive level. You can see all of those wicks, so I don't want to drop a zone like this, but just keep in mind, guys, that there is a very strong supportive level right here. Then the market went for a manipulation above right here, similar to we could have had some news as well on the NZD, and right now the market is just consolidating right here. Having a look a little bit on the left, we have the same level right here that I'm gonna be potentially targeting for the downside. Oh, this was actually tapped to the pip. Oh man. All right, so we tapped that area. Actually it was fulfilled, but we can come again to the downside, and from then on I don't know what's gonna happen. So currently this market is not clear for me, either for shorts, either for long. So again, be patient. Let's wait for Monday to develop. Tuesday news, whatever happens, whoever is picked, I really don't care. I don't have any bias, and then potentially I just want to capitalize on the clear moving markets. All right, guys, so that's the NZDs. Let's carry on. All right, let's have a look at some USD pairs, starting from UJ weekly time frame. So this is pretty strange because we had that massive explosion to the upside on the DXY, but this one did not move, and I think it has something to deal with the JPY. Again, it could be turning into a safe haven currency, but the dollar being strong, that means that people are not selling the dollar, they're actually buying it. I'm not sure what's gonna happen, and I think there is some manipulation going on. But interesting thing to be monitoring right here is 104. Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, 104 key level, right? Have a look how it was tapped and repelled again. So definitely we can spike again below and then continue up. And yeah, potentially we can have a wick like this. Now this is market open. You can actually, guys, go and explore what the market did during elections. It's exactly right here, 7th of November. The market strongly pushing to the downside, potentially into some areas right here of support and resistance, supply, demand, and then you can see what explosion we had afterwards. So we can have the same. Like right now we're having Brexit and COVID and all this stuff, so we might not be that strong because there is still that uncertainty, but we can definitely expect something pretty interesting. So daily time frame, as you can see, 5 days of consolidation, the market pushing lower and then repelling from that area. Nothing too much. Full hourly time frame, again the market pushed lower, potential setup right here, but the pullback was, yeah, it wasn't enough, and this was Asian trade. Then we pushed lower, and then from then on it was pretty hard. to catch a trade. Then we went for an equal high right here. The market pushed lower again, was repelled from that range, strong engulfing candle, then the market pulled back again, and yeah, I just don't know what's happening on this one. So marking this level right here, and actually to the downside, well, yeah, I just want to keep in mind this whole area right here, because I think we might run to the downside to manipulate below 104, and then if the market is gonna go bullish, because the dollar was bullish, this is pretty clear, but this one did not push up. This is why it's pretty strange, and like the correlation doesn't make too much sense, so I think there is something going on right here. But yeah, one opportunity right here, the market pulled back into this area. But again, it was Asian session, as you can see, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, so we couldn't capitalize on this move down. Then a huge move up. You say, okay, we're going up, but then the market huge move down. So no, we're not going up. And then another move to the upside. So definitely, guys, UJ, not one of the best pairs. Just working with those levels right here, this resistance and this big support, and just waiting to see what's gonna happen after the elections, because this is an USD pair, so definitely it's gonna have some impact. Actually, all the pairs are gonna have some impact. So yeah, no bias on this one, no trades to discuss. Let's have a look at the other pairs. As you can see on USD CAD, we had the bullishness, so we have a pretty nice bullish engulfing candle on the weekly after 2 weeks of consolidation. Dropping to the daily time frame, what did we have right here? Is the market after a strong push, it pulled back all the way down in and around those kind of areas right here. So this is a nice area of supply and demand. After this move happened, pull back, pulling away, and then it comes back again around 1.31. So this was a pretty major area. We had the double bottom, then the market strongly pushed right here on the 26th of October, pullback, strong move to the upside, and then the market just consolidated for 2 days because it started to encounter resistance levels right here, and yeah, there weren't any more longs. So the only setup right here was from right here. The only setup right here was from right here, this push and this pullback already in a bullish environment. So we had push, pullback, higher high. So what do we wait for? For a higher low. Then the market pushes lower. But again, this was not the time to be traded. Like it was at 6 o'clock around London close, and you have this strong move to the downside, and nothing was actually shown right here that the market is gonna go up. We just had a one candle right here of rejection, then a strong push, pullback, so you can potentially trade this break and retest, which we didn't actually, and then the market pumped to the upside again, pullback. I expected a bigger pullback on this one, to be honest, but there was a potential little opportunity with a little wick, I remember. So yeah, so have a look, guys. You have this break of the structure, the market stays above for this candle, then this wick, this is your only chance to enter a trade, this little wick, and then the market starts to pump to the upside. Not sure if this was taken by any members of my community, but it is what it is. So right now, I just seeing this chart, I see a little head and shoulders again, and knowing that the daily is finding resistance, we know why. So yeah, pretty strong support to the downside right here. As for resistance, I'm gonna mark this because this is a potential lower high. All right, but again, this is USD pair, so I don't want to drop any biases or any predictions, so definitely waiting to see what's gonna happen. But potentially, if we just drop to the daily time frame again, the market already tapped into this one, but where will like the liquidity lie? It's gonna be above this area right here, because all the people selling from right here, making that huge move, have their stop losses above. And then if we try to think a little bit from the bank perspective, we might have a run up, and then the market might push strongly to the downside. But this is like 100 pips move, so this can definitely be caused by the elections. Absolutely, 100 pips is nothing for such an event. So definitely this can be expected, but if the market starts to break below, retest, continuation, then potentially we can have some short sellers incoming. All right, so this is USD CAD. Again, guys, I don't want to drop any biases, and let's just see what's gonna happen after the elections. USD Swiss franc as well, with a beautiful bullish engulfing candle to the upside, very strong. Daily time frame, you see 5 days of bullish price action with little pullbacks along the way. You can see pullback right here and pullback right here on Tuesday and on Thursday, and then we ended up the week very bullish, exactly closing above, or trying to close above this daily high right here. Then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame. So as you can see, the whole thing started from the creation of this double bottom, then the market pushing higher, and then starting to create this supportive level right here. So this price action was actually pretty tricky. All right, so it was a little bit trickier to be traded. Push, pullback right here, hourly time frame. You have a nice push above, and then the market retraces all the way down into those lows. So can you take a trade right here? Well, yes, you can. either from the 5-minute or from the 15-minute. The 15-minute pushed and did not provide a clear pullback, but if I just quickly drop to the 5-minute, where are you? It's still the same. So as we have this break of the structure right here, pullback, and you can enter around right here, then another push, another pullback, you can enter right here. This is something that I've been looking at. But I did not take any trades on this one. I'm not sure if the community took as well. And then we have the same thing happening. The patterns repeat themselves. We have a strong push, pullback, then the market comes back to gather liquidity and actually to go below this area, and it will be clearly seen on the hourly time frame. So have a look, strong push, pullback, not enough liquidity to make a high, but we already know that the market is going up. And then what it does, nice break below, exactly below this area, and tapping into the support and resistance levels right here. And again, similar situation on the 15 minutes, a little bit tricky because we have resistance right here on this break. This is not a clear break. Then we have the retest, and after the push, you can enter from the EMA. But if you drop to the 5-minute time frame, then you can see it. A break, a retest, and you can enter even from right here, which was a beautiful setup. And it happened actually at 8:25, so this was tradable time for me. I was actually watching it, but this is something that I'm currently testing and not trading yet, right? So USD Swiss franc, two beautiful opportunities and going exactly above those highs. So what can happen again, guys? This is USD pair directly correlated to Euro USD and the DXY. Again, we're having this supportive level right here and this resistance level on top. We know that the market is currently tapping into this liquidity spot because this is where a lot of stop losses. Have a look, top, triple top, and all the people selling right here were stopped out. If they have their stop losses above, they were stopped out. So right now we can definitely expect some sort of a reversal, or I doubt that we're gonna have a continuation, or at least we are gonna fill that range to the downside because there was 5 days of bullish price action. So definitely we can have a little bit of a pullback, maybe even for head and shoulders. As you can see, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then we can start pump to the upside. All right, so those are my predictions on USD Swiss franc. Beautiful long opportunities, but right now it's staying at the high. It's not for buying and it's not for selling because you don't know if this area will be respected and if the market is gonna flush. It will be for selling if you have a strong break below, retest, and then potentially you can ride it into the left shoulder or something like this. All right, so this is USD Swiss franc. Nothing clear for now. Stay tuned for the Tuesday analysis as well, but this is gonna be the election, so let's see what we're gonna have. Just to show you quickly a trade that we took on CADJPY. So as you can see, a very strong bearish engulfing candle right here as well, and 3 days of massive bearishness with the last 2 days of a pullback, tapping into the lows right here for a daily support. The trade was taken from right here. Unfortunately, again, a little bit badly managed, and then we dropped to the downside. Still working, guys, on my break-even rules. Then what do we have? So the trade was taken right here from the top after this push pullback, nice push into the highs right here, rejection candle, and actually it happened around this bearish engulf. So have a look right here, nice structure was created, perfect retest. So we got in at the wick right here, stop loss was above the structure, and then take profit was below, as always, for a nice take profit. But then when the market tapped the lows, we went break even. What the market did, tap us break even, and then it reversed. And yeah, so this is the second week that I'm showing you this, guys. Previous week was on Euro Aussie and an Aussie Swiss franc, trades like this. So we are missing out a lot, but again, I am not pretending to be perfect, a perfect trader and nailing 1,000 pips a week. I still have a lot to work on, a lot to do with my emotions and on trade management. So definitely this was a beautiful trade, but the market unfortunately went up to take out some stop loss and potential break even to tap into this nice move right here, or supply and demand, order block, whatever you like to call it. And then it started to move to the downside. And then afterwards, I think, it was nothing clear because, probably right here, a short opportunity for a lower low, but then the market started to consolidate. And we have a similar situation right here, having this high and the low and just waiting to see what's going to happen. Let's have a look at the GBP. Starting from GU, another confusing week of price action, but there were some opportunities, but it's not like pretty much a market structure, but more manipulation trading. So we're having this bearish candle right here, but it's not an engulfing, it's actually it's not an inside bar as well, so nothing too much to extract from the weekly time frame. And as you can see, those candles, like the market opens right here, small body candle with wicks, then we create this bearish body with a strong push to the downside, but with a huge wick, and then again wicks and wicks. So you can see that the market is struggling to move. It's been struggling for quite some time. It provides some moves, but it's not moving as a GBP pair should be, right? So the market opens right here, consolidation. We have this spike to the upside. That was pretty nice. Then we dropped to the downside, and then the opportunity was right here, actually fulfilling this structure right here. So this little candle before the move to the downside was fulfilled at 3200 as well. And then you can see if I drop to the lower time frames, there was actually like a little bit of a spike. So as you can see, we have that consolidation right here. The market moves into that area, and if I even drop a fib from this move, like here, it was yeah, a little bit 61.8, 705, 78.6 zone. And then what do? The market withdraws again and comes all the way back up to tap that area again to potentially stop out some people, and then it goes. So this was, yeah, I think the only move that I spotted. Then we have the next day, the market creating a nice push, potential shorts right here. But when the market tries to push down, London opens right here, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, move to the upside, actually coming again into that area, around these areas right here, but could not move too much. So again, no trades were taken on GU, and I don't want to drop any conclusions or any biases again. Just have a look how much resistance we got on the left right here. But if I just focus on the most recent price action, here it is, and we're moving overall to the downside. So just keeping that in mind, we can orient ourselves where to go. So I am more bearish bias on GBP USD, but again, we really don't know what's gonna happen right now with the elections. How I want to take a short, potentially if the market manipulates above those highs or comes back for a double top and then continues higher, and then a break and a continuation down for after a retest, right? So this is GU, expecting shorts, but again, guys, nothing clear on the GBPs. And even if I go on GJ, so again, the only opportunity right here was from there. Oops, why this line? Yeah, it works still. So the market opens right here, consolidation, then we drop to the downside, nice push and a nice pullback. So we can definitely look at this one. But again, you can see the market tries to provide an opportunity right here, fails to continue lower, moves all the way into the highs, into the left right here, into this indecision candle, bullish, bearish engulfing candle. Then we have a little bit of a pullback, and on the 15-minute time frame, the entry wasn't perfect. So again, as for an entry, you had just this wick, and if you take your structure from here, then yes, you have a break and you have a retest. But if you take your structure from here, then you don't have a retest. So it was a little bit tricky, and again, not sure if anyone took it, I believe no. But then again, you have second chance at the EMA. You can see the EMA is perfectly acting as dynamic support and resistance. If you don't have any levels, you can just trade from the EMA, and then we flush to the downside into another consolidation. This was actually a nice push and a pullback on the hourly. You can see push, pullback. But then again, on the 15-minute, the market just consolidates right here, maybe a break in the retest, but then just explodes. And this was Asian session, explodes to the downside, and then London opens and would reverse up. So this is GJ summed up. Yeah, only this short opportunity that was spotted. So again, this is a pretty major structure right here that the market already tapped into. And as you can see how we've been declining to the downside, creating lower lows, which is good because it means that we're trading to the downside. But again, what levels do I tap right here? So probably this wick and this wick right here as my major supportive level. On the left, you can definitely fight some levels. I would advise you to focus on finding those levels on the daily, potentially either right here or either right here, something like this that was tapped actually to the pip. So definitely the market can move to the downside right here, but what is gonna happen next, I don't know, and nobody knows actually, right? So I prefer to be extremely transparent and honest. I don't know what's gonna happen, and I don't currently have a tradable opportunity on this one. Like if the market breaks retest and continues, then I can try to take a long right here. If the market spikes to the downside, then I will just evaluate what's gonna happen, because this is a strong area right here of demand. So definitely waiting patiently on the GBPs, and if you trade, guys, make sure to reduce your risk. And GA, what it did this week is it manipulated below all the lows right here. If I just drop them like this, have a look at this one, London open, manipulation, strong push to the upside. And then again, if you try to catch a long right here, that's perfect. Hourly time frame, as you can see, big consolidation, and I always advise my team not to trade within the consolidation, or if you trade a consolidation, don't go for the support, go for the manipulation. And as you can see, beautiful spike to the downside, even later a double bottom. So if you drop to the 15-minute time frame, a little bit tricky. So you have again this low, and the market even broke that low. Then we have a push, pullback, and if you drop to the 5-minute time frame, you're gonna have a higher low as well. Here it is at the EMA. Tap, 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 and then we go, right? So this was a potential trade that I didn't take as well. And then the market strongly pushes, but then it starts to create this structure. Push, pullback, push, pullback, push, pullback, up, down, up, down, up, down. And yes, when it reached the low, but how do you know that this is the low? And even if you know, then the market just tapped and reversed. No inch right here. So GA has been pretty tricky as well. All the GBPs were tricky this week and the previous one, because they are definitely cooking for something. So yeah, we can see that there is an overall resistance level right here, and there is an overall supportive level right here. So I want to see how the market is going to manage between those two areas, because you can clearly see the behavior. It's not momentum behind price, but it's consolidation. So what I want to see is how the market is going to manage itself in this consolidation, and where it potentially is going to break out and go to. Again, I don't want to share any biases. And yeah, GBP, Euro GBP, sorry, I just don't want to have a look at this market. Just have a look at this whole price action right here. Have a look. This is not tradable for me. This is not clear. And then if I just zoom in to have a look at the most recent price action, the market opens, consolidation, push down, push up, okay, potential short, push down, double bottom into support, push back up, push back down, push up, and then we ended up the week bearish. But nothing to be tradable right here for me personally. It's just up, down, up, down, up, down, consolidations, breakout of consolidation, back into consolidation, then again trying to break below. But I just advise you to step aside from Euro GBP. I just hate this pair and I actually want to remove it from my watch list, but I just have a look at it and nothing too much, because it has to do with Brexit as well and with the Euro situation, and it's kind of really confusing. It doesn't know where to move. Alright, Euro USD and GBP USD are much clearer than this one, so make sure to focus on them. And this is how I'm gonna wrap up the GBP, guys. Sorry for not providing you with any clear setups, but this is what the market conditions are currently, and I don't want to just shout this one is going up or this one is going down if I'm not sure in something. Let's have a quick look on gold. We had a short opportunity this week. So you can see we had a nice move to the downside on the daily time frame, and then we had a little pullback and a continuation to the downside, then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame after the market exited that whole consolidation box with this nice push. All we need is a few 4-hourly candles of pullback, which happened right here. Then dropping to the hourly time frame, we have this huge move, and you actually have a little bit of a double top, break below, retest with this candle, and then we went for a full take profit. As you can see, the trade was taken from right here on those wicks, wick, and at the EMA entry could have been at the structure or at the EMA, stop loss above. And as for a take profit, we go down there for a nice 3.6 R&R, and this trade was taken by the community, which I was pretty happy about. And then the market ended up consolidating at the bottom. So with gold, guys, again, I'm not gonna drop any biases or anything, because nothing is for sure what's gonna happen, and gold is gonna move after the elections, and this can potentially be a spike to the downside to gather liquidity. Have a look where it tapped around these areas right here, which is pretty nice to see. And the market immediately reacted, creating actually a break of the structure right here, potential pullback, and we might start to go up. But again, patiently waiting for the elections before dropping any biases on the gold. And wrapping up the video with some stock market crashes. So as you can see, when the market fulfilled that range, that huge push to the downside, slowly climbing to the upside, creating a double top on the day, on the weekly time frame, and right now we are dropping, but we actually have a lot of earnings release and earning reports. Hence why the market just dropped very strongly, and my stocks are deep in the red because I've been buying slowly, but then when it just drops, it's painful, but we are in it for the long term, all right? So yeah, I called a short on this one on the Tuesday analysis on Telegram, play it out, then the market again pulls back, creates bearish structure, very bearish, all right? So again, on this one, I am not a indices guru. I don't want to shout anything, but yeah, just because I'm not completely confident with it, but it works pretty nice with support and resistance levels and supply and demand especially. So you see how we tapped into that area 26.00 and maybe 26.200, and then we start to retrace. So right now I definitely expect a little bit of a pullback on this one if it's gonna continue to the downside, and this again depends on the companies that are within the index. So let's have a look how the week is gonna open, but this is a good opportunity actually guys to buy some stocks. I'm gonna buy some ETFs as well because it's pretty nice. you pick the whole stock market or something like this. When everything is dropping, then it's a perfect opportunity to buy some index funds. So right now, right here on NASDAQ as well, we have a drop to the downside. Daily time frame drop. And the forward time frame, as you can see, we exited the consolidation. We perfectly retested the consolidation, break below, retest again of this area, continuation, pullback, and right now we're sitting really at the bottom, having a level like this for a potential resistance. And I just want to see how the market is going to play out. We're tapping in such an area right here as well where the market started to move up, but we can definitely even go lower, below right here. So let's see. Again, guys, I don't want to give any biases, especially on the indices, which I am not trading. Like, I've never taken a trade on the indices, and I'm perfectly fine with it because I have Forex. All right. Thank you guys for staying up until now. This is it for today. I really hope you got something valuable from this video because we didn't have any trades, much analysis, and much setups to be traded. But again, a little tip from me, stay away from the market until Tuesday. Wait for Wednesday to actually pull back or to distribute whatever it does. And then potentially Thursday and Friday can be tradable. And potentially the next week we can start having some clear markets. I really hope so because this month has been a mess. I had some beautiful trades, but very badly managed, and yeah, I'm pretty sad about it because I could have nailed a very nice return for the month. But actually right now I'm sitting like break-even-ish, which is a pretty bad feeling, but this is trading, this is the business, so we have to keep going. All right guys, make sure to smash the like button, make sure to subscribe, and see you on my next video.